Very well. We are looking at Berakhoth, Talmud Bavli, Daf Teth, amud Beth. Let's read the Mishna once again. The Mishna states, Kriath Shema l'shacharim, Mishi yakir ben Kriath l'Lavan. Rabbi Eliezer omer ben Kriath l'Chartan, al hanes ha'hamah. Rabbi Yoshua omer al 3 שעות, שכן דרך בני מלאכים לעמוד ב3 שעות. הקורא מכאן ואילך לא הפסיד, אבל שהוא קורא בתורה. So last time we looked over this Mishnah and discussed several aspects of it. And we mentioned that the Halakha regarding till when one can read Kriath Shema is according to Rabbi Yoshua, as is always the case when there's a Machon between Rabbi Eliezer and Rabbi Yoshua. Those are the two opinions we find here in the Mishnah. And then we saw in the Gemara, starting on line 29 in the Gemara, we saw a couple of different opinions, other definitions of time for reading Kriath Shema in the morning, the beginning of the Zman. So I read again from line 31. We saw Tanya Rabbi Meir Omer, Mishakir ben Ze'ev l'Chalev. At the time one can begin saying Kriath Shema in the morning, from the time one can distinguish between a dog and a wolf. Rabbi Akiva Omer ben Hamor l'Arod, between a wild and domesticated donkey. Wahirin Omerim, and there are those who say Mishi Yiret Havero Berakhoth 4 amud yakirenu. The Talmud Bavli, regarding these opinions, doesn't really explain whether the opinion of Rabbi Meir ben Ze'ev l'Chalev, or the opinion of Rabbi Akiva ben Hamor l'Arod, or the opinion of Ahirim Omerim Mishet Havero Berakhoth 4 amud yakirenu. The Talmud Bavli does not really explain how these zmanim relate to the zmanim of the Mishnah. In the Mishnah we saw 2 shiurim, ben Kriath l'Lavan or ben Kriath l'Chartan, for the time in the morning that one can distinguish between a white string and a Kriath colored string, which in other words light and dark. And according to Rabbi Eliezer, the time is later, and therefore he expresses the later time by saying from the time that one can distinguish between Kriath and Kartan, between Kriath, which is dark blue, and Kartan, which is dark green. Obviously one requires more light. So the question is, how do these earlier zmanim, the zmanim for the beginning of Kriath Shema, mentioned in the Talmud, in the Baraitha, and then Rabbi Meir, Rabbi Akiva, and Ahirim, how do these relate to these other zmanim in the Mishnah? So as I say, in the Talmud Bavli, this is not really. In the Talmud Yerushalmi, on the other hand, he does explain this matter, and it says as follows. Yerushalmi first quotes the opinion referred both in the Yerushalmi and the Bavli as Ahirim, and says Ahirim Omerim Urifem Otho. In other words, he's talking about, takes the pasuk from the 3rd parasha of Kriath Shema, which according to the psak is referring to Sisif, the thing to Kriath of the Sisif. Urifem Otho, but it's making a drasha in order to give a time for saying Kriath Shema. Kadesh Yeh Adam Rachok mihavero 4 amud umakiro. That's exactly the same opinion that we saw in the Bavli, also in the name of Ahirim. Rav Chizda Amar Kahada Ahirim. Or Behada Ahirim, Ma Anan Kaimim. Referring to this opinion, says Rav Chizda. How do we understand it? Im Beragil Afilu Rahik Kirman Hakim Le. If we're talking about somebody a person knows well, that even at a greater distance, one will recognize him. ואם בשאינו רגיל, ואפילו קרוב לחכים, and if it's something he knows not very well at all, then even closer than 4 amot, which is about 2 meters or even a bit less, he will not recognize him necessarily. Ela ken anan kagi. Rather, we understand it as follows: Beraghi v'shelo raghi, talking about someone that he knows somewhat, but not someone he knows very well, and therefore he won't recognize him immediately under all lighting conditions. Kahuda azele lachsanya u'afere kisi, such as someone who occasionally comes and stays in a certain inn, and you see him a few times a year, perhaps, or something like that. Then Yerushalmi continues and says, "If tana etane ben zev lechelek ben hamor la'arot." There are tanaim who mention the zman, the beginning of the zman for saying Kriath Shema in the morning, as we saw before in the Talmud Bavli also, ben zev lechelek ben hamor la'arot. If tana etane kadesh yadan rachok mechaviro 4 amot u'makiro. And there are those who say the third opinion that we just saw also. הוא בעין ממר, ממר בין, מן מר בין זאב לחלב ובין חמור לערוד, כמן דמר בין תחילת לחרטן. The Yerushalmi says, it seems that the opinions that say that one can say Kriath Shema in the morning from the time that one can distinguish between a ze'ev and a kelev, or a hamor and an arod, are in agreement with the opinion of Rabbi Eliezer and the Mishna, who said ben techelet lechartan. Uman demar, and he who says kadesh yadam rachok michaviro 4 amot u'makiro, he who uses that definition of being able to recognize someone that one knows somewhat but not very well, very early in the morning at a distance of 4 amot, that opinion, which is known as ahirim, Kaman demar ben techelet lelavan, is in accordance with the Tanakama of the Mishna, who said ben techelet lelavan. Now, we don't have an explicit statement here in the Talmud Yerushalmi stating if the Halakha is like the first opinion, then it's to say ben techelet lelavan, which is also analogous to ahirim, or like the second opinion in the Mishna of Rabbi Eliezer ben techelet lechartan, which is analogous to ben ze'ev lechelev and ben hamor la'arod. Yerushalmi doesn't state this explicitly. The reason it doesn't state this explicitly, I think, is because it's unnecessary to state it. The reason it's unnecessary is because the rule is very simple always, that Halakha is kistam Mishna. The Mishna says, Shaharim, more correct, Mishi Yakir ben Techel Halava. That's the stam Mishna. Rabbi Eliezer says otherwise, correct, but the Halakha is always like the stam Mishna. And if we're told now by the Talmud Yerushalmi that the Ahirim, who speak of recognizing a person at 4 amot is the same opinion, is describing the same point in time, so then we know that Halakha is like, you can either describe it as ben techelet lelavan, or you can describe it as ahirim. Either way, it's the same thing. That's the Halakha. In the Talmud Bavli, interestingly enough, you will note on line 33, immediately after quoting the Berakhoth of the ahirim or marim mishiret havero rachok 4 amot v'yakirenu, it says, Amar Rav Huna, Halakha ka'ahirim.